Now listen to Conversation 7, Part 1, talking about the music. Back in Uist, James and Anne go to the Friday night céilí again.
Ha cólan ile ána nach.
Ha cólan chadan san ilan scianach anach. Ha cólan an ilan ac in an seo.
A pípán, a fiolán agus ha boxa an cúteach. Gléfa, stelum ceola voxa.
An tull? Ha tullum sitjara. Sherlum heen, a feeb, no an yield.
A sinnit an cúteach. Stelum sa in Gaelic.
An tull? Gléfa. Gavu heen oran maha.
O chagav, ha mi dúj.
Now listen to the whole of the conversation again, just to make sure that everything is clear. Repeat the part of James to begin with, and then repeat Anne's part. Making sense of it all. Now let's look a bit closer at some of the words and phrases you've just met. To say that something exists or there is something, you say
Ha,
You then say the thing followed by
aun.
So to say there are bagpipes, you say
Ha peepaun.
To say there's a fiddle, you say
Ha fiol aun.
And to say there's an accordion, you say
Ha boxaun.
If you want to emphasize what you yourself like or dislike, then you need to add something on to the phrase you learnt in the last unit. So, I like is,
Is tullumsa.
I don't like is.
Ha tullumsa.
You'll remember the same sort of thing happening with the polite word for you in conversation 2. In order to add emphasis, listen to how the word changed.
Sheev. Sheevsha.
When it comes to singing, notice that in Gaelic you don't sing a song, you take it. You already know the word for take, so to ask somebody if they will sing a song, you say
Ngavu oran.
Literally, this means, will you take a song? If you want to decline the invitation and say no, then you do that by repeating the word for take, but putting it in the negative. So you actually say something like won't take.
Chagav.
It's a bit like the way in English you might say I won't, rather than just simple no. Finally, did you notice the slight difference in pronunciation between the word for song and songs? We came across songs first.
Oren.
It's spelt with an I before the final N, and that changes the sound of the N slightly, whereas there's no I in the word for just one song.
Oran.
The grammar you'll need. You'll have noticed in previous conversations, and again in this one, that the word for the in Gaelic can take a few different forms. This also links to lenition, the way that sounds can change at the beginning of words in Gaelic, which we've also talked about. It's a big topic which we can't really cover completely in a course like this, but there are some more examples in this conversation which we'll explain now. Here are the Gaelic words for bagpipes and fiddle again, which are both feminine.
Peep. Feel.
Did you notice how they change when we talk about the bagpipes or the fiddle?
A feep. An eel.
Look at the booklet to see the change in spelling as well. It's normal for changes like this to occur with the before feminine nouns. There are also some examples of changing forms with the in this conversation when two nouns are linked together.
Ceol a voxa.
This is accordion music, or music of the accordion, and the island band, or band of the island, is
Colin a nielen.
In each case, the second noun is said to be in the genitive case. At this stage, it's best just to learn the whole phrase as it is. But if you've noticed some changes in the second noun and you're wondering why, that's the reason. They're in the genitive case. Finally, it's time to say something in a bit more detail about yes and no in Gaelic. You can only use the following for yes and no in certain circumstances.
Ha, chanil. A vilu juj.
This means, are you shy? You can confirm it or say yes by repeating the positive form of the verb, in this case a form of to be.
Ha,
More literally, this means I am. To deny it or say no, you again repeat the verb, but this time in its negative form.
chanil.
More literally, this means I am not. That means that when there's a different verb in the question, the yes or no answer has to be different too.
Yn gafu oran.
This is literally, will you take a song? We know that to say no, you say I won't, where we repeat the word for take in its negative form.
Chagaf.
Now, we also know the positive form for will take from the last unit. Do you remember?
Gai mi broth.
This means, I'll take some soup. To say yes to will you take a song, you just repeat the will take.
Gai.
This means yes or I will. This pattern of repeating verbs in follow-up sentences is a common feature of Gaelic. The same thing happens with questions as well. Where in English you might just say, do you or will you, in Gaelic you repeat the whole verb. When James says he likes accordion music,
Stelum ceol of oxa.
and checks that he means it by just repeating the word for like in question form.
Antal.
Do you? Now replay Conversation 7 Part 1 up to this point again before carrying on with your practice. Over to you. Now have a go at being James in the conversation and give the Gaelic after the English prompts. Let's start. There's another band tonight.
Ha cólan ile ann anoch.
Ha caldan chalin san ylan scianach anoch. Ha caldan an nilin ac in an shell.
There are bagpipes, there's a fiddle.
Ha peep ann, ha fiol ann.
And there's an accordion too.
Agus ha box ann cúteach.
Very good. I like accordion music.
Gléfa, stelum ceol of oxa.
Antal, chatalum sitchera. Sherlum heen a feeb, no a niels.
There's a singer too.
Ha sinnite ann cúteach.
I like Gaelic songs.
Stelumsa or in Gaelic.
Antal, gleva, and gavo heen oran maha.
Oh no, I'm shy.
Och ha gav, ha mi juge.
Well done. Now try taking Anne's part. Say the Gaelic part of the conversation after the English prompt.
Ha cólan ile ann anoch.
Yes, Colin's band are in the Isle of Skye tonight.
Ha caldan chalin san ylan scianach anoch.
We have the island band here.
Ha caldan an nilin ac in an shell.
Ha peep ann, ha fiol ann, agus ha box ann cúteach. Gléfa, stelum ceol of oxa.
Do you? I don't like it at all.
Antal, chatalum sitchera.
I myself prefer the bagpipes or the fiddle.
Sherlum heen a feeb, no a niels.
Ha sinnite ann cúteach. Stelumsa or in Gaelic.
Do you? Very good.
Antal, gleva,
Will you sing a song yourself then?
and gavo heen oran maha.
Och ha gav, ha mi juge.
Well done. Why don't you replay Conversation 7 Part 1 again, just for good measure, before moving on to Part 2. Conversation 7 Part 2, talking about the refreshments. In this part of the conversation, you'll learn how to talk some more about food and drink and to say something nice about ceilidhs. And you'll learn how to ask someone if they want to dance. Key words and phrases. Here are the new words and phrases you'll need for this part. Repeat them out loud after you hear them. Ceilidhs.
Céilian.
Uist.
Uisht.
Will you have another cake?
Yn gafw cake illa.
Yes, or I will.
Gai.
Then, or after that.
Yn uirshin.
So.
Cho.
Now listen to Conversation 7, Part 2, talking about the refreshments. During a break, James and Anne take some refreshments.
Call on an Yelan ma na chéil.
hat gléva.
Stalum céilian an nuist, an bíag ma cúteach na chéil.
An gafu céich gelle?
Gai, an gafu héin céich.
Ha gav. Ach gai mi brisket. An gafu uske behe elle?
Gai go jerav.
A villuwer san downsa baha.
Ha go jerav, agus an úsin gai mi áran. Chanil mi cho dú chanis.